It is finally time for Rachel and I to move to Perth. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is the start of the Perth travel vlog. It is January the 6th at the moment, so it is the day before the official move. Rachel and I have had the last 3 days off work, and I thought I would have so much time for reading, and I just haven't. And writing. I was like, yeah, writing sprints every day on my days off. I'll be reading a bunch. I'll finish a book before we go because I have a goal of 100 books this year. And already Goodreads is like, you are late, my dude. If you could just hurry up and read, that'd be fantastic. But no, the last 3 days have been super hectic. We have cleaned out the house. My dad came over on Wednesday. We took a whole bunch of stuff to the Resource Refuge Centre, so the dump, but you can sort of like put things in different areas where they might be helpful to other people. They go through it and they recycle a whole bunch of stuff. So we did that. Thursday we had a whole bunch of little errands to run. I actually don't know how Thursday got filled up, but it just did. And then we went to Rachel's brother and sister-in-law and our 3 nieces and nephews, so the 3 kiddies. We It's really hard for them. So we have a big event on today, which is why I'm starting the vlog now, just in case I forget later. So today we're having a big event to say goodbye to friends and family. We're putting on like an afternoon tea. We're just sort of opening up the house from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. Yesterday we packed everything. The cars had a dry run of packing. Most of the stuff is in the car now, except for a whole bunch of like electronics because it's hot and we don't want to keep it in the car, and the stuff that we'll be taking in and out of these different locations. So there's that. In terms of reading updates, I don't have too much for you, to be honest. I've started the month with 3. I will definitely finish the audiobook on the trip, which is Bones on the Hill. I think it's a third book in the Conqueror series. I think it's Bones on the Hill. I'll put a picture of it up here anyway. I'm 50% of the way through, liking it much more than Lords of the Bow. This is sort of, I guess, focusing on still Genghis Khan, because it's the whole story is of Genghis Khan, and I'm really enjoying the aspects of where we're exploring the consequences of how he's treated his sons growing up, and there's more wars, more conquering, as was his way, but we are seeing a lot more of, I guess, the social consequences of the upbringing and how he's treated the people around him at the moment. So yeah, 50% of the way through that. I'm reading Wish Givers by Shannon Knight, which is super intriguing. It's I don't know how I feel about the story overall. I'm entertained by it. It's not perfect, but I'm entertained. However, it has one of the most unique magic systems and one of the most unique protagonists that I think I've ever read. And I really, really enjoyed that. I also love the setting. So it's an island setting with tattoo magic. And Reva, the main character, is a wish giver. She grants wishes through tattoos. So if someone asks for a tattoo, or the person that she's now serving asks for a tattoo, or asks for a wish, sorry, she has to grant the wish. And her people cannot not grant the wishes if someone has asked for it, because then their throat constricts and they eventually will die if they don't do it. So they do that by preparing colors and putting tattoos, and then the tattoo transfers onto their own skin. So they are unable to grant more wishes than their skin can hold. It's really, really intriguing, and I really love that aspect a lot. And the other thing I'm reading is Harrow by Lucas Lex de Jonge. This is a slow burn, small town folk horror, and it's very, to me, I don't like comparing people to Stephen King, because it's like the only sort of slow burn horror author that comes to mind. But what Lucas Lex de Jonge is also doing, which is similar, is focusing on this slice of life and really just letting us go day to day with the people in this story and building up the anticipation and the horror that way. And I'm really enjoying it, but it is long. It's 800 pages. I thought I'd be done this week, and I'm only 38% of the way through. So I'm hoping to finish Wish Givers either today or tomorrow because I'm 68% of the way through that, and then I'll read Harrow on the drive. But we'll see what happens because this morning again I've got to run around, do some errands. I'm going to go take some donations to the church down the road this morning. I've got to go walk the dog. We're going to the bakery to pick up scones and croissants for breakfast tomorrow. We're having another event tomorrow right before we go. And then I need to go and get the groceries for today. And then I need to prep for today. The house is still kind of a mess, but at least it's only little bits and pieces. Just need to vacuum and tidy up the last little bit, which is great. So yes, that's what's happening. I will. This vlog is going to be a lot of B-roll footage for you. So as we travel, we'll try and get some of the more scenic stuff that is going on. We won't hit the desert for like 3 or 4 days, but I'll still take little snips, or Rachel will take little snips while I'm driving of our surrounds and where we are. It's a 7-day trip. We start tomorrow and we get to Perth on Saturday. Ari's very, very anxious right now. We've got her some anti-anxiety meds, but the poor thing is not having a good day. But that's where we're at. I will see you in the next clip when I have an update for you. But yeah, enjoy the drive. We've got Ari's little section that comes up to keep her in. That's her bag full of her stuff. We've got a couple of backpacks that'll sit up here. There's stuff in there. Those vacuum seal bags are a lifesaver, and there'll be stuff in the passenger seat with me. Hello everyone, it is day 2 of the driving adventure. So it is Monday the 8th. Yes, we set it on the 7th, which means it's Monday. So it is currently 6:20 in the morning. We were up at 5, went and took Ari for a walk, tried to coax her to do a business. She was not having any of it. But we did get wheeze, which I'm gonna say is a success. We have a bigger drive today. So yesterday was only a 4-hour drive. Today is a 7 to 8 hour drive, depending on traffic conditions and weather. So we are trying to get out a little bit earlier. We'll probably go in the next 10 minutes or so and stop for breakfast in the next 2 to 3 hours. So we'll try and break up these bigger days by every 2 to 3 hours, stopping, actually getting out of the car, giving Ari a walk, having something to eat, something to drink, and just stretching our legs to wake up. And we'll also switch drivers every time that we stop today. I finished Wish Givers last night by Shannon Knight. So I had about an hour to go yesterday and finished that one off. It was still one of the most unique things I've ever read. I think I lost some of the plot points coming towards the end. I think that's a me thing, not a book thing. But I really enjoyed it. It was quite intricate the way that it was designed. So I quite like the characters, I loved the setting, and I loved the magic system. So I will have a full review for that one at some point in the near future, but I finished that one up. Really enjoyed it. Really recommend it if you are looking for something genuinely different in the fantasy genre, and an easy read and a quick read. So that was that, and I got to probably, I'd say 65% of Bones of the Hill, so I'm going to listen to some more of that this morning. I'm really liking this one a lot more than Lords of the Bow. This one is sort of following the conquest or the battles between the Arabs and the Mongols, so Genghis Khan and the Arabs. I don't know a whole lot about the actual history. I'm hoping there's one of those notes at the end of this book as well to let me know what actually happened in that time period, because I have no idea. But it is more entertaining and definitely more detailed than Lords of the Bow in terms of the social aspects of his sons growing up and taking over to run battles of their own, which is quite interesting. So there's that. So we're currently in Gundawindi Caravan Park. We're going to Kobar Caravan Park today. If you're on my Discord, I'll show you photos later in real time. So from the days that we're there, as long as we have Wi-Fi. Rachel's out packing the car. I'm going to go help pack the car, and then we're on to the next leg. Oh, I forgot to tell everyone that I had my first encounter with a venomous snake last night on the trip. So because we're going into the desert, they have like the most dangerous snake in the world out in the outback. Love that for us. So I'm hoping we get to see some snakes while we're driving, but you can't drive over them because I can get to the bonnet. Anyway, but I saw a little red-bellied black last night, which is venomous but not as dangerous as the eastern browns. I saw it while I was walking Ari to do her business yesterday evening. I was like, that looks like a snake. It's a bit weird that it's out at night. Looked at it, that is a snake, and it's quite dangerous, so we're just going to walk the other way. Anyway, Australia, what are you going to do? I saw a little fox this morning, which is very cute, but I didn't get it on camera. Hopefully there's more wildlife in the coming days. We are in the middle of nowhere and I've just found this fridge that has like magazines in it. I should have kept some books. I'll turn it around. There's like magazines and kids books in there, which is amazing. I should have kept some books out, but I have no more room in the car. But we've stopped on day 3. I don't know where we are, but at least we haven't got bogged today. So we did get bogged yesterday. I'll put a picture of it up here. But I'm just taking Ari to go and do some wheeze. Okay, car update time. We found civilization, which just means there's a Macca's and a KFC, which you can see behind me. It is day 4. It is our biggest day. We've got 2 9 to 10 hour days, and this is the first one of them. I think this is actually our biggest day on the road. So we just found a town called Port Augusta. We're stopping here for fuel and food, and we'll take Ari out for wheeze. There's currently lots of people around, but we'll do a quick update. In terms of reading, I finished Bones on the Hill by Con Eagledon. So that's book 3 in the Conqueror series, the story of Genghis Khan. What an ending. Really enjoyed that one a lot more than book 2. So it sort of came to a conclusion, and I'm a little bit interested in what happens in the next 2 books. And I also read Don't Bloody the Black Flag by James Lloyd Doolan. Just realised the dog's window is open so people can hear me talking to myself, so we'll change that. Yeah, so I read Don't Bloody the Black Flag by James Lloyd Doolan, and I loved it. I really, really love how James ups his game every time he writes something new in the Malatu series. So this is a novella set about 150 to 200 years prior to the series. Different set of characters. You can read it separately. You don't need to read it with as part of the series. Separate characters, separate story, and it's sort of exploring, I guess, inaction versus action and different people's beliefs, and all sort of fighting for their own beliefs and not being willing to learn another side of the story, and only ever fighting for your own beliefs because it is comfortable rather than getting educated is so dangerous for the world at large. And you know, conversations that are happening now around, like in our own world, it's very relevant. Anyway, I'm getting red. I need to go put some more sunscreen on, but I thought I would do a quick update. Ari's licking the door. Cool. She's had some water, but we'll go and take her out in a minute. So I thought we'd stop just because we didn't get a chance. We were out at 5:30 this morning, well, out of the little hotel room at 6:30, up at 5:30. Got to repack the car.
every time. We're heading to a place called Ceduna today, and yeah, there'll be some stock footage of like traveling and whatnot, which would be cool. People are watching me vlog, which is amazing. Yes, we saw some eagles this morning, which was cool. Not a whole lot of wildlife today, just more goats. Yesterday was so full of goats, like 4 million goats on the side of the road, and I didn't get footage of them because we were just trying not to hit them because there were so many of them, and we're going at speed through the country, so you know, having to slow down for the wildlife didn't really warrant taking footage of them, not like the emus and the cows the other day. Saw some eagles this morning. I think I already said that, but that was really cool. Anyway, Rachel's back, so we're gonna go get fuel now. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. It is 8:37 on Thursday, day 5 of our trip. We're currently in Ceduna. We're about to leave. It is our latest start that we get to have. So we got a bit of a sleep in, a bit of a lie in, showers in the morning. Beautiful. Love that. I got a bit of a walk. So yes, today we are actually hitting the Nullarbor, which is the desert, the centre of Australia. And we will probably stop at the Nullarbor Park, because we drop 2 hours. The time zone goes back 2 hours by the time we get to our destination, which means we're gonna be there too early to check in. So we've got some time to kill because of the time difference. So this is day 5. Welcome to more of the same terrain and hopefully some Australian desert.
It is the second day of 9 hours of driving. Rachel's out cleaning the windscreen thing because I'm morning driver. We are on the border of Western Australia and South Australia, so the first thing we have to do today is go through quarantine. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to do a whole lot of updating with reading. I've got to 61% of Harrow. I got there last night, really enjoyed it again. It's very like slow burn, small town folk horror, and it's so underrated. Like it's I just want to keep reading, even though it's a slow burn. Like I want to know what's happening to these people. Very good at the slice of life stuff. So I've been enjoying that a great deal. And yeah, we're about to cross the border. It's a 9-hour driving day, so I think we'll be in the car for a little while yet before we stop. Yes, we're gonna go see if Ari can cross the border. Okay, bye.
It is the end of day 6. It is the biggest. Today was the most driving we've had to do. We did have another 9-hour day. Today ended up being about 9.5. So comparatively, but I think because Rachel and I are now feeling the driving, like it still hasn't been too bad. Don't get me wrong, we're not like hating each other's company or anything like that. It's actually been very pleasant. It's an awesome way to see the country. Like we never would have seen half of the things that we've seen if we didn't do this trip via road. It has been absolutely incredible. I haven't seen a kangaroo, which is
Very upsetting, but I did see a bunch of emus. We saw a whole bunch of wild emus, a whole bunch of wild goats. One animal is smarter than the other. The emus tended to tear us across the road, whereas the goats just avoided the road. But it was funny to watch the emus run away. But yeah, the goats were quite intelligent when it came to avoiding vehicles. And the lizards, we saw so many lizards, not yesterday, the day before, and they just would not move. They're like, you can put your wheels either side of me, and I'm not going to move. But anyway, I thought I would check in now that we're sort of settled in. It's the time zone changed officially today, so we have a little bit more time to kill. There was some weirdness with time zones yesterday, so it was like an hour and 40 minutes different, but now we're actually in like the WA time zone, so we're 2 hours behind my parents and Rachel's parents in the country. But yes, we're finally in WA. We crossed the border, did the quarantine thing this morning. Ari's led in the country. It's the same country, in the state, which is fantastic. And yeah, we're just going to settle in a very cute Airbnb. I would have shown a clip just before this. And I'm going to read some more of Harrow. I would love to get to 70% of it today. Rachel and I are staying with some friends of mine, like a workmate, in a different department from myself for the next couple of weeks while the house gets finalised. So we don't have a permanent home base, but we have somewhere to stay, which I'm very grateful for. So thank you, Raylene, if you ever watch this, for putting us up for a few weeks. We're hoping it's going to be no more than a month, but it could be up to 2. We'll see what happens. We'll just be paying rent at Raylene's place while we are staying there. So we'll get there tomorrow. She sent me a message today saying what they're going to do some dinner for us tomorrow night, and then on Sunday, I think we're just going to chill and do absolutely nothing. I have not started the beta read that I wanted to on this road trip. We've just been quite tired, so I've been sitting with Harrow because it's familiar and it's chunky. So if I can get to 70% tonight, I'm in a good stead to get to finish it on the weekend, which would be fantastic. So that is the aim. That's what I'm going to do now. We've just had like pre-dinner because for us, in our brains it's 6:30, but here it's 4:30, so we were hungry. So I went and got some fresh fruit. We haven't had fruit in a long time. I mean, we've had bananas, but you've got to like each border, you had to throw it out. So had some fresh like melons and berries, and it was so delightful. And yeah, so it's beer and reading time right now. And that's what's going to happen for the next, hopefully, hour or 2. But no, me, I'll be in bed within that time frame. So I'll see you in the next clip. Tomorrow is the last traveling day. We just got to a park where dogs are not allowed in there, which is, why wouldn't you allow dogs in your park? Anyway, I had to go and like hide Ari so she could do her business. Look how red my face is. I have not put sunscreen on. I will do that after this clip. It's the last day and the last leg of the last day. We're about to hit our last 4 hours, which is very exciting for us. Rachel's about to take over driving. She's just gone to get us some lunch. I'm morning driver. She is afternoon driver. So usually at lunchtime we'll swap over. So I just stopped, check in and say hello. Last day, I didn't really do anything this morning. I'm in the same shirt as last night because I've run out of clothes. It's fine. It is what it is. We need to find fuel, which I'm sure you're sick of hearing at this point. And then, yeah, we'll be at our friend Raylene's tonight. We're going to barbecue tonight because we've not actually met in person. She's just been very generous to let us stay in the house. Hello, puppy. We're in the air-conditioned car at the moment because it is currently 37 degrees outside and very hot for little Paws who doesn't have shoes on. But yes, I wanted to check in about Harrow. So I have gotten to the 75% mark. I read some last night and I read a little bit this morning. Things have gotten super creepy. I think we're sort of coming to the climax of the story, and I assume the last sort of 10 to 15% is going to be like the aftermath, but we'll see. Things have definitely taken a turn for the worse for the people in the town. And this book is done really well because I think it has the right amount of like small town folklore, horror tropes mixed in with an original voice to really appeal to both audiences. I'm thinking if you like something like It by Stephen King, you will really enjoy Harrow by Lucas Lex de Jong. So once I finish it, and I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow, it'll be the last sort of vlog of this clip where I talk about the end of the trip and settling in and also hopefully finishing that book. But yeah, I think more people need to pick it up and it is wildly underrated. But anyway, we're gonna go wait for lunch, and I think we sort of hit suburbs now. We don't have too much highway left to go in this last 300 kilometers or so. So yeah, I think we've done all the scenic stuff now, but we'll see what happens in the next little bit, and I will catch you in probably the last clip of the vlog. Good morning, everyone. It occurs to me that I have not done an outro clip for this vlog. We've now been in Perth for the last week, so it's time to wrap it up. We had such big plans of getting a whole bunch of stuff done this week in Perth. Like, I wanted to get some author interviews written up and reviews done and a lot of reading done. And I've done a fair bit of reading. I finished off Harrow by Lucas Lex de Jong. Loved it. My thoughts are pretty much the same. The last, 15% of that book is the conclusion, and it is wild. It was so dark, so depraved, so horrific, and just really well explained and executed, in my opinion. So if you like horror, and you like slice of life, small town vibes, that, it's a slow burn, I would definitely recommend picking it up. I've gone ahead and asked the author. Well, I said I was going to buy a copy, and the author has kindly sent me one, which is amazing and just unexpected, but, such a beautiful gesture there. So we've been here for a week. Rachel and I just had a holiday. We just had a week off, completely off. We stuck to our own timelines. We got up when we wanted to get up. We were out exploring different areas all week. Like, every day had a different area for us. Eating out a lot, spending too much money. I did a bit of a bookshop, which I put on my Instagram. I'll put the picture up here. I've been feeling some horror lately since reading Harrow, so I read another horror novella by Cassandra Core there. I just love their work. So, brutal but poetic and beautiful. So read that. It's hard to call body horror beautiful, but they do really write in such a poetic way. And I also read The Night of the Moon by Gregory Contaxis this week. I've mainly been working on a beta read called Die Young by Morgan Shank, and I'm hoping to finish that up on the weekend before we go and we start working again next week. So next week I'm hoping to get back into more of a routine. I'm a long way away from my gym. I have a membership to a gym franchise, and it's 25 minutes from here, and we've got one car, so it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to be able to get there 3 days a week, but we'll work on setting up a routine next week. But yeah, I just want to check in. The week has been fantastic. I'm hoping to maybe get to another bookstore this weekend, just because I have needs and I don't have the money for it, but I'll just make the money for it, how we justify all these book sales to ourselves. But yeah, the dogs have settled in. Dog and the cat are now getting along, which is fantastic. Rachel and I have settled in, and next week is all about setting up the routine. So that was the road trip to Perth. A lot of Australia is very dry, but it's a lot greener than I was imagining, going through sort of the middle of the desert, and the Great Ocean Bight, which is the edge of Southern Australia and Western Australia, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like the content, give one of those, and if you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.